All right. So, yeah, no doubt by now you've heard that Jimmy Carter has passed. If you don't know who Jimmy Carter is, well, that's, well, he was a forgettable president, but he was the 39th president, I think it is. And basically the same kind of president as the current one, not for long president. So, a lot of correlations there. But I'm going to read this. This is the BBC. BBC's kind of a garbage syndication, but let me see what they have to say here. Problems that plagued Carter have also troubled Biden. 44 years elapsed between the time Jimmy Carter left the presidency and the day he died. 4 decades seem like a long time, a record for a former U.S. president, yet many of the challenges facing America in 2024 are not that different from the ones Carter faced and at times succumbed to in the late 1970s. The U.S. During the Carter years faced a crisis of confidence. Americans were grappling with economic turmoil at home and a range of challenges to U.S. power abroad. Fast forward 4 decades, and the players and issues are strikingly familiar. The players more so. It's basically the same guy. The economy and the environment, Russia, Afghanistan, and the Middle East. Years have passed, the leaders have changed, but the challenges linger. Carter celebrated the power of U.S. diplomacy by brokering the Camp David peace agreement between Egypt and Israel in 1978, but the glow of success was fleeting. The limits of American power are painfully apparent during the Iranian hostage crisis a year later, after U.S. Embassy staff in Tehran were taken prisoner. So they had some of the same sort of things. The Middle East has been a hotbed forever. It's not like, not like it just flared up. It's been a hotbed for as long as we've been chasing oil. So that's no different then as it is now, essentially. It took more than 12 months of intense efforts, diplomatic and military, to free them. The sense of American helplessness contributed to Carter's resounding election loss to Ronald Reagan in 1980, which sounds a lot, kind of correlates a lot with what just happened now, the same type of thing. I think people just wanted a big change. They had this, I won't say too many disparaging things about the guy because he has passed, but, they had this president who was not up to the job, and they wanted change. So they brought in a guy kind of similar to Trump, which is funny. He was basically a television star as well. He was a charismatic guy. He had a lot of anti sort of establishment kind of ideas. So same kind of guy. Kind of weird how 40 years later it's like cyclical. The same thing kind of happened again. So the inability to shape global events, even from the world's most powerful office, continues to haunt U.S. leaders. Current President Joe Biden's dose of this cold reality first came during the chaotic U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan in 2021, which lowered the curtain on 2 decades of feudal American nation building and saw the Taliban sweep back into power. More recently, Biden and his diplomatic team proved unable to prevent the 7th of October Hamas attack on Israel from spreading into a regional conflagration and a devastating humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Both Carter and Biden, humbled by seemingly outmatched regional forces in Iran and Afghanistan, were also confronted by territorial ambitions of global powers. Carter was lambasted for inadequately responding to the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan and then widely denounced for the move he did make, ordering a boycott by U.S. athletes of the 1980 Olympics in Moscow. So you can see that they kind of made similar errors. And look at this picture here. It's kind of funny. You can see Biden. That's how long he's been in power or in government, guys. He's old enough to have been around when Jimmy Carter was president. So, yeah, I'll just tell you. Which, by the way, I shouldn't dox myself, but that's the year I was born. So, oddly enough. Anyways, okay. So it's going to keep going on a little bit about his things he's done, correlations between him and Biden, and the like. But I think we all know that Biden was a dumpster fire. If you're over 60 years old and watching this, you probably are aware how bad Jimmy Carter was. I don't know. I was too young to be affected by any of his garbage policies. But I mean, one of them is gone now. The other is leaving office. So hey, it's kind of a cleansing, I guess.